All right, let's talk about something called the deep life. It's this really powerful idea, a kind of framework for finding actual meaning and focus in, well, in the crazy, distracted world we all live in.
Have you ever had one of those days? You know the feeling, right? You get to the end of it, you've been busy all day. 100 emails, jumping between a dozen different apps, scrolling for what feels like miles. But when you look back, you feel like you haven't actually moved the needle on anything that really matters. That, right there, is the trap of what we call shallow business.
Okay, so there's an antidote to that feeling. It's the deep life. Think of it as a philosophy that just pushes back against all that digital noise. It's all about intentionally deciding this is where my attention is going, and then building a life around that, around depth, not distraction. So to really get this, we need to break it down. Let's look at the two big opposing forces here, the shallow life versus the deep life.
So, on one side, you've got the shallow life. This is probably going to sound familiar. It's reactive. You're basically just responding to pings, notifications, other people's demands all day long. You're distracted, you're consuming content. Then, on the other side, you have the deep life. And this is totally different. It's a life of intention. You're focused, and your energy is actually going towards creating things of real value.
Now, what's so important to get here is that this isn't just another productivity hack. It's not about new to-do list software. It's a fundamental shift in your values. It's about making a really radical commitment to the things that matter to you. And you fuel that with, 1, intellectual depth, and 2, an almost minimalist approach to everything else.
Okay, so how do you actually build this thing? It sounds good, right? But the great thing is a deep life isn't just some vague, abstract concept. It's actually built on a really solid, balanced foundation. And that foundation has 4 key parts.
All right, so check out this structure. It's built on these 4 pillars, and the real magic is how they all support each other to create, a whole life. First up, you've got craft. That's your work, your skills, the stuff you're mastering. Then there's constitution. We're talking physical and mental health, super important. Next is community, which is all about your relationships. And finally, contemplation, which is all about reflection and finding meaning. The key insight here is that they're all connected. You can't just focus on one, right? A focus on craft without constitution, that's just burnout waiting to happen. Community without contemplation, that can start to feel pretty hollow. The real goal is to find a balance across all 4 of them.
Okay, so we've got the what and the why. Now for the fun part, the how. So how do we actually do this? Well, there's a really practical step-by-step method for this. It's called the Deep Lifestock, and it's designed to help you build this lifestyle right from the ground up. Now, this process is built from the bottom up, and this is where it gets a little counterintuitive. See, most people would say, start with your why, your big purpose. But this approach says, whoa, hold on. How can you act on some grand vision if you can't even control your own schedule for the afternoon? So you actually start with a super strong foundation of discipline. Then you build control over your time. And only after all that do you get to define your big, high-level values. So, phase 1. This is all about building the engine. Think about it. Before you can make these huge, life-altering changes, you first have to prove to yourself that you can even control your own actions, right? And you do that with small, consistent habits that just start to build momentum.
And here are a few really powerful examples. We're talking simple stuff, like not looking at your phone before 8 a.m. or taking a 20-minute walk every day. These aren't massive, life-changing commitments on their own, but what they are is daily proof that you are in charge. And that discipline, it starts to spill over into everything else.
Okay, so once you've built up a little bit of that discipline, the next step is to actively fight back. You gotta go on the offensive against the shallow stuff. Because the hard truth is, you just cannot live deeply if your time and your attention are constantly being hijacked by low-value tasks and all those digital distractions.
And here are the tools for that fight. This is your arsenal. You've got time block planning, where you literally give every hour of your day a job. You've got digital minimalism, actually deleting social media from your phone. And I love this one, the phone foyer. The idea is you create one spot for your phone at home, like by the door, so it's not always attached to you. It's all about creating intentional friction.
And finally, once you have that discipline and control locked in, you get to the top of the stack. This is where you create a short, written document, kind of like a personal code, that lays out the principles you actually want to live by. This becomes your compass, the thing that guides all of that new focused energy you've created.
Okay, let's bring this all together. If you take away just one single thing from all of this, let it be the core mindset, the big idea that drives this entire philosophy. Look, the goal here isn't to become some kind of productivity superhero who can juggle a million things at once. No way. The goal is to become a minimalist of attention. It's about ruthlessly removing everything that doesn't line up with your deep life pillars so you can make more space for what actually does. It's a philosophy of subtraction, not addition.
And that brings us right to the final and maybe most important question, because this isn't just theory, right? It's a call to action. So I want you to look at your own life and really ask yourself, what is one shallow thing, just one distraction that you can remove today to make a little more space for depth?